The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. The mind is like an iceberg, it floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. A civilization which leaves so large a number of its participants unsatisfied and drives them into revolt neither has nor deserves the prospect of a lasting existence. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. The psychical, whatever its nature may be, is itself unconscious. When inspiration does not come to me, I go halfway to meet it. Analogies decide nothing, that is true, but they can make one feel more at home. From a perception of the compulsion of fate there is no deliverance. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. He does not believe that does not live according to his belief. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. Everywhere I go, I find a poet has been there before me. Neurosis is the result of a conflict between the ego and its id, whereas psychosis is the analogous outcome of a similar disturbance in the relation between the ego and the external world. Illusions commend themselves to us because they save us pain and allow us to enjoy pleasure instead. We must therefore accept it without complaint when they sometimes collide with a bit of reality against which they are dashed to pieces. Religion is an illusion and it derives its strength from the fact that it falls in with our instinctual desires. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. The doctor should be opaque to his patients and, like a mirror, should show them nothing but what is shown to him. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Religious doctrines are all illusions, they do not admit of proof, and no one can be compelled to consider them as true or to believe in them. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. The first human being who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs his conduct in the world. The ego refuses to be distressed by the provocations of reality, to let itself be compelled to suffer. It insists that it cannot be affected by the traumas of the external world. It shows, in fact, that such traumas are no more than occasions for it. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness.